With the next Battlefield title soon to be announced, support for Battlefield 1 is slowly coming to its end. But with recent updates to the CTE means that some of the developers are still willing to push on to make the Battlefield experience even greater. And something that I wish to see come back to Battlefield 1 is the infamous Back to Basics game mode. Let's begin. For those who don't know, Back to Basics was a very fun game mode that incorporated the use of bolt-action rifles and bolt-action rifles only, all of them in their infantry configuration. The game mode was added during the first months of Battlefield 1's release, and it provided the almost full experience of the First World War. As in real life, bolt-action rifles were the standard issue rifle of every warring nation during the conflict. Sadly, this game mode didn't last long, as it was added as a custom game mode and not a standard normal game mode, meaning that it won't frequently appear in the server browser, or perhaps never. And the emphasis that the developers gave it was slim and made it an almost forgotten game mode. And today I'm going to talk to you guys about some of the changes that could be implemented to revive this almost authentic World War I game mode. Now, with the recent addition of newer weapons, I would see fit that DICE added two standard issue rifles for every faction. For example, the United States Army could carry the 1903 as well as the Pattern 17 rifle. Just like in real life, there were more Pattern 17s issued to the US soldiers than there were 1903, which means that it was much more common to see a soldier from the United States with a Pattern 17 rifle. The Russians could be given the Mosin Nagant and the Russian Winchester 1886, as both rifles saw intense use during the conflict. The Italians will have the Carcano, which was the main frontline rifle, and the Verli Vitali, which was their rear line rifle. The British, by obligation, will have the short magazine Lee Enfield or SMLE, and either they could have the Ross infantry variant that is currently on the CTE. This will represent the Canadian forces that fought along with the British forces, and they could also add the P-17, either both, because the P-17 or P-14 as it was noted by the British Army was a British design. The Ottomans could have the Gewehr 98 representing the Ottoman Mauser and the Martini Henry. The Austrians and the Germans could carry both the Mannlicher 95 straight pull rifle and the Gewehr 98, although both come from different origins. The French would be harder to decide because the game only has the Lebel 1886 rifle, and DICE hasn't added the other rifle that the French used, which was the Berthier rifle, and it might never be added into the game, which is a shame, as this rifle was in many ways better than the obsolete Lebel. This change would add a bit of variety to the game mode, meaning that you would have many choices between different rifles with different capabilities and traits. The drawback to this would be the premium paywall, as many players don't have the DLC content that brings these weapons. But DICE could release all the content for free, just like they did during the end of Battlefield 4's lifespan. Just imagine for a second running through the trenches and muddy terrain of Passchendaele with bolt-action rifles, just like in 1917. This will be close to the authentic World War I experience, as I said in the past. Another solution that DICE could do is to add the game mode as a standard game mode alongside with Conquest, Rush, and other game modes that have been added during the past updates and DLCs. And perhaps they could also launch events on that game mode, like Friday Night Battlefield events, or the achievements for using bolt-action rifles, or just for playing this game mode. And this would certainly activate the community, or at least those who like to gain the achievements that the game rewards. They could also add sub-game modes for the Frontlines game mode. These will be game modes like Back to Basic Frontlines, Back to Basics Rush, and even Back to Basics Hardcore. These changes could bring an almost refreshing feel back to Battlefield 1. And if done correctly, this game mode might just turn into an instant classic. So tell me your thoughts on the matter. Do you want the Back to Basics game mode to make a return? Or what other suggestions do you have in mind? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you the next time.